This week, Austin and I have been playing through the new Back 4 Blood zombie game from Turtle Rock Studios. If you don't know Turtle Rock, you may have heard of their really hot game that came out many years ago called Left 4 Dead. If you haven't heard of that, you've been sitting in a turtle rock, potentially. Back 4 Blood.
Yeah. Thank you.
Back 4 Blood is their new game. They are back separated from Valve. They're not with Valve anymore, but this is their spiritual successor. And we have a lot to say about it. You know, it's definitely an interesting game. We've been holding out for Left 4 Dead 3 for a very long time. Haven't gotten one. Don't think we'll ever get one from Valve. But
Valve's a dick.
Do I?
Valve's a dick.
That's right.
When it comes to
Valve dick.
Yeah. They're too
or
busy
Valve as a
working on
whole.
hardware
I don't know.
shit.
It's a Valve.
Yeah, it's a Valve.
Has a handle on it, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm saying is they're never going to make a third game for any of their properties.
They don't know what
So
thirds
if you
are.
open up the valve, a bunch of dicks come out. That's what you're telling me. Valve dick.
So let's get Back 4 Blood, everybody. So Back 4 Blood, the formula is very similar to the previous games. It's 4-player co-op, and the new thing is you drop into what they call Fort Hope, which is the social space where you link up, and it's like your 3D lobby that you go and do all your things. You can edit your card decks, which we'll talk about in a minute. You can join your campaign. You can join multiplayer, and there's a little shooting range. You can test all the guns that are available in the game, and also goof around with your friends and shoot each other.
That's right. We did a lot of that. We did a lot of that.
Yeah,
Where are you playing this on?
PC.
It's
Xbox
crossplay.
Game Pass.
Xbox Game
Yeah,
Pass.
so it doesn't pay for it, which is great. Shout out to everybody. If you have Xbox Game Pass, this is a perfect Game Pass game. Just saying.
Yeah, because, we played the beta. It wasn't worth it. We definitely weren't recommending buying it outright. And then thank God it's come out in the Game Pass.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I literally wouldn't have picked this up. And I actually didn't even want to download it, but I was like, it's a new game. I guess I'll try it out. You know, I'm really into New World. And I'm glad we did because it is completely different from beta. And it is a lot of fun.
So they improved on it.
Oh,
beta.
yeah, dramatically.
Okay.
It's night and day. Thank God.
Yeah, I think the biggest differences here with Left 4 Dead versus this one is that they've basically added more. So their zombies now are called Ridden, and their main character, the survivors, are now called Cleaners. And so instead of previously they had 4 characters to choose from, well, I think in Left 4 Dead 2 they brought all 8 of them in there. Mm-hmm. But instead of having the 8th, now there's like 9 or 10, and each one has like a special special perks like that are tied to that character. And then all the zombies, the special zombies, are now increased. So there's way more special zombies available, and a lot of them are similar to that of Left 4 Dead, but some of them are kind of better, and some of them are like way worse implementations of that type of zombie.
You think so?
I think so.
All right, you have to tell me.
Yeah.
So, for example, the Boomer is now this big hulking creature that moves around fairly fast and can like basically throw up on you. And then when he explodes, it's just a explosion of acid goo that gets on you and takes down your health over time.
So that's an example of one that I don't think is as good, because it used to be when they would spit on you, it would attract the zombies to you, and it doesn't do that anymore. It just damages your character, which I think the benefit, like you wanted to avoid getting spit on because you're suddenly going to have a rush of zombies coming at you to kill you and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool, scary mechanic. It's like, oh shit, I don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
Now if I get hit, it's just like, okay, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like that one, and then I think the ability, like now they've added the ability where you can kind of break out from every type of zombie. Like if you get grabbed or grappled or whatever, every character you can like mash the E button, I think is what it is, to like
Really?
break
I didn't know
apart.
that was a thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not all of them, but most of them, like if you get trounced on, or if you get somebody who picks you up and grabs, like the big, like the guy with the big arm, the big boy, if he like grabs you, like you can mash a button to break out. And if you do that, then you get away and you don't have to have your friends come save you. So the anxiety and tension of like you needing your friends to communicate, like you communicating your friends to come and save you, is not as much there anymore. I mean, it's still like freaky and scary, but it's just less dramatic as it used to be.
Yeah, I don't remember that being an option.
Yeah.
Graphics are really pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the graphics a lot. I mean, that's one of the big things I was hoping for, is like I just want a Left 4 Dead that was just like modern graphics with modern conveniences, which it mostly does do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of new stuff that they've added to this that I feel like there's almost like too much stuff in here. Like
Almost. Yeah. Well,
I think there's too
explain
much.
yourself.
So my opinion on this is that I think if they had left out I think the card system is the biggest detriment to this game.
Really?
Yes, I think the card system, and Josh,
Wow,
me
okay.
and Josh were talking about this and agree on that, because it's overwhelming to me to have the card system, and I don't see the cards really giving me a huge benefit. In most cases, they don't seem to, like, if I added this card versus that card, I'm like, okay, I don't really feel like it's changing a whole lot. And it's just an added extra thing that I have to think about and work on to play the game. And I get the idea of replayability with the cards because they're all randomized and you build them over time.
Well,
But I think it tends to overcomplicate the game when it doesn't need to be there.
Sorry, I must have missed this. What does the cards do exactly? Is it just like perks for yourself?
perks and buffs.
Okay, perks
Yeah.
and buffs. That's what I thought. Okay.
It either helps you be better at shooting or having ammo or having more health, or you have a melee, so like you can punch the zombie if they get too close, because sometimes you don't have a melee weapon.
Yeah.
But then you get the perk where you can have a knife, so you're stabbing zombies in the face.
Okay.
When
So
they come
it's
out.
just kind of like overkill with all the different perks or different cards you can get a little bit. Is that what you're saying, Brett?
That's my opinion on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, I mean, when you start out, you have like a set number of starter cards that you work
Yeah.
with, which you have, 10 or 15 cards or something like that. And then as you progress through the game, you unlock points that can be used, like supply line points or something like that. They can be used to unlock supply lines that then give you more cards and perks to add to your library of cards. And then you can build out a collection of card decks with different types of motives. So like you could build like an offensive deck, or you can build a defensive deck, or like a support deck based on the different types of cards you pull together, and then pick which card deck you want to use. And then as you're playing through the game, every round you complete, you get an option to pick one card from the collection of cards that you have in your card deck. And then those will stack if you do the same card over and over again, those kinds of things. So, I mean, it is an added cool value, but it's like I'm at the point now where I'm getting so many cards and I'm like, sorting and managing these cards
is a lot.
It's an inventory management issue for me. I'm
Okay.
like, I just don't want to have to deal with this, and most of them don't do a lot
Inventory.
for me. Yeah.
Inventory.
So I don't know, but I mean, you feel differently about it. So what are your thoughts on the card deck?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, we're just specifically talking about player cards, and I can see where you're coming from. But they also have the I guess the written cards. You can call. I don't know the exact name for
Yeah,
it.
I'm just specifically talking about your currently
okay.
created cards that you use for your own personal deck.
I know I like them because I usually start out with the one that allows you to see the coins on the ground.
Yeah.
And so that being my first card, it also spawns more coins. So like right off the bat, once we finish the first mission, like I have a bunch of coins to buy new upgrades, or buy new gear, or buy more gear just to help me with that. And it's just like, I think it's kind of nice being like, okay, what I pick here is actually going to affect what's going to happen in the game. And for me, like I kind of figure out what I like to use. Like I like using the rifles, and I like having a pistol. So like I'm aiming for like, do I want well balanced? Because my first deck was more like offensive cards, and then eventually I was trying to do more well rounded, where I increase my stamina and stuff, but also have like enough ammo. And then one card allows me to have like extra rifle ammo and some other perk I forget. But for me, it's just like, it just makes sense to me. Like this is how I like to play. I figure out the guns I want to use, and I just aim towards that. And it's not that hard. And yeah, you can start getting a bunch of cards, and I actually haven't gone back and looked at the new ones I got. But I mean, I could see it being a little daunting. It's like, I just want to play the game, and we're so used to Left 4 Dead, so I understand that. But I think it adds to it, because as you progress in these missions, they get harder and harder. And so it's like, well, shit, I need to beef my guy up more.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe I want to get extra health, so I pick an extra health card, or maybe I want to open things faster, or add one more offensive slot to my inventory so I can have 3 grenades instead of 2.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I think that, I mean, I don't think they should not have the card system. I just think the card system could use like a little bit of a reworking, because like the biggest concern I have, I mean, there's cards like you mentioned, the copper one, the knife one. There's several of them that give you a lot of like buffs for like, plus 20% health, or plus whatever. Those are really cool. But then as you start unlocking more beyond the 16 that you can slot into your deck, then it's like, it's really hard. The UI makes it very hard to tell what's better than the other. And so like, I want to be able to like hide cards that I just don't give a shit about, because there's about 30 cards in there that I have now that I'm never going to touch. That I just don't want to use. And it's like, they're always there in that menu to like, to look through. And I'm like, I wish I could. I mean, you can filter, which is good. I mean, there's a filter to like change the type of card it is, but I wish I could just say, okay, I'm not going to touch this card because that's not my play style. I'm not going to touch this card and like monitor and modify that list of collections of cards that you have to make it more manageable.
So
I
are
think
you
that would
going in
fix
there
it.
every time you get a new card?
No, not every time.
Okay.
Because I don't spend the points until after I've accumulated like 500 or whatever points or whatever, and then I'll go there and get a bunch of cards at once.
Can you dismantle the cards?
No.
To upgrade cards?
No.
Once you got the cards, it just adds to your card deck.
Oh God.
Yeah. So eventually you have like right now I have like 4 or 5 pages worth of cards that I have to sift through, and there other than sorting it based off of like 3 or 4 categories, there's no other way to sort them, and so you're looking through a ton of pages of cards, and it's just like, and a lot of them are very similar in that there's like one slight difference. Like one will do plus 10% health, and another one will do plus 15% health, but negative 5% stamina. So it's like, well, which one do I really want to do here? Because I don't want to negate some other ability that I have, and it's just, and you can't compare anything side by side. So that also is like, it's not like you can go in a gun, when you're in like a RPG game that has all the guns, you can like compare them side by side to see the differences and stuff. That's not in here. So that's part of the system I don't like, is that it just, as I progress, I feel like I'm going to get so many that they're just going to become the quantity. There's more quantity than there's quality. And that's, I think, the biggest problem they have right now. Yeah.
Well, I've only been in there like twice. I know I got a bunch of new cards because every time we finish the mission, I just like just start getting cards and like, oh, that one looks cool. That one looks cool. But honestly, the 2 decks I have right now, I just use one of them, and I haven't had to go back and change much out, which I need to because I got a bunch more, which probably could help me out. But I just haven't seen it be a problem unless I'm going in there all the time.
Now that you have more, you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, once you get a bunch of them, it's just, I mean, you don't have to do it much, but it can be a nuisance.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's a bad system. So like here's an example
right.
of like you choosing your card right now. And I do appreciate the idea of it because it can change up the game, and you can build it based on your play style, which is nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on from the card system, the levels I want to talk about a little bit.
Okay.
So this game is broken down into 4 acts. Now that the full game is out, we have 4 acts. 3 of the acts are very long with a lot of levels, and the last act is just one mission. That's like the finale. In total, there's 33 levels to play in this game, which is a pretty good amount. Like, it's better than I thought it'd be. We knocked through a little over half of it. We're probably like 60-ish% in like 2 play sessions. So I'd say in total it's probably like a 6 or 7 hour campaign, maybe. I don't know if might be more or less than that, but I'm curious also what you think about the level designs so far throughout the course of this game.
I mean, most of them are fine. I haven't had a huge issue. The only one level that I thought was kind of shitty was the last one from Act 1, where you go into this like mining area and you have to get to this one area and use freaking artillery shells to collapse this mine, because I guess there's a bunch of zombies in there. And like you can do it really quick. Now maybe that because we're starting on Recruit. Surprisingly, Recruit is a little challenging at times. And then maybe as you progress in difficulty, that mission gets harder and harder. I don't know. But it was like super easy to complete that mission. And it's supposed to be the last mission for Act 1, which should have been like this big, like,
finale
hoo-ha thing. And it wasn't. And I was like, what the fuck? But other than that, most of them are pretty cool. Like, I think they're pretty unique. The only thing is you do come back to the same area multiple times. And I guess Act 2, which they try to switch that up. And that thing with the variability of enemies is pretty cool.
Yeah. So that part like drove me nuts, and that we kept coming back to. There's this one part that we come back to where there's like you're on the outskirts of like a military base.
Yeah.
And you have to like go to the military base and get to like basically a gas station, and there's like some houses off in the distance and stuff like that. And I think we've done that. We've been back to that level 3 or 4 times at different times of day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why do I keep coming back here?
We're always going to like someplace different. So like it's just kind of like passing through, but we're doing mostly the same thing to some degree.
Well, so what I found out when I went online to read about the story, it made more sense why we were doing that. Because like the story, which isn't really well displayed here, is that you are a group of survivors that have come to Fort Hope, and that's your home base. And when you get there, your goal is to, there's this virus that is in the water, and that's why like you don't want to drink like the water supply or whatever, because it's in the water. And your goal is like there's points where you go out with your group to like get supplies or shut down things that are causing issues or whatever. So the reason why we keep coming back to that same place is because we're in the process of coming back to Fort Hope, but you just don't ever actually come. I mean, you come into Fort Hope when you're in the social menu, but you're not seeing a map. And I think what would help this game a lot for just the context of the world would be something like when we play Fortnite Save the World, you have that overview map that shows you all the stuff. That would be a brilliant design addition for this game to show you like, okay, we're here at Fort Hope and here's the branching pathways we went out in the overall world to see what we've done and where we've been traveling. So it makes more sense why I'm coming back to the same place 5 times.
Yeah.
4 times or whatever.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, I think the game is awesome. I mean,
it
like,
looks super fun.
The additions that they made to it, like the attachments, I think are really cool. The buy system, I think, is interesting. Other than you don't always get the guns you get. You can pick up weapons and ammo all over the place. That's really interesting.
And attachments.
Yeah, the attachments. I mean, the quality of life stuff is just here, and it's awesome.
Yeah. And what really sold this game to me from the beta was they throw a lot more of the specials at you. While in Left 4 Dead, you can get like 1 or 2 at a time. I mean, sometimes they throw them all at you, but one would come up enough where it's opposes a threat and keeps you on your toes. While when we played the beta for this, they would throw 1 here, they throw 1 there, maybe 1 or like 2 or 3 at a time here and there, but it was nothing as exciting as Left 4 Dead. But when we played this, the actual game, like they're throwing enemies at you left and right, specials. Like they're just coming at you. Like you got the spitters who are like getting you stuck on the ground, and so the zombies are coming over to beat you. So someone has to come over and help you. Then you have one tall boy, so you're shooting at that while trying to save your friend. And the second one comes in, and then maybe the boomer one comes in and throws acid on you. It's just like holy shit! Like it did not stop, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So glad I don't know if that build was just light for on purpose, or they listened to the community and was like, okay, we need to like beef this up a little bit.
Yeah, it might have just been just broken during that time.
Oh fuck!
But they definitely, I do like that. Whereas I think Left 4 Dead was more like a thriller, kind of like psychological. It was like more like jump scare kind of vibe.
Yeah,
this is more just like an action thriller kind of thing. It's much more fast paced with like, I mean, you're just constantly on like top line anxiety as you're playing through the game. There's not many like lull points in this game. Which I think is cool. I mean, for what it is. The only other comment I want to say that's like a negative is Left 4 Dead had really unique mission designs from like movie to movie. They kind of build it as like, here's a movie trailer or whatever, and there's like 4 missions to like that level or whatever. They were all very unique to that. Like they had character. They had like a lot of character to that. In this one, I feel like there isn't as much character as you transition through. I feel like everything kind of feels the same. You're in the same area. It's not like you're going like to different, worlds or anything like that. So that kind of contributes to it. There's a little bit of change in Act 2, but I feel like I wish there was a little bit more diversity to make it like, okay, this section is very uniquely this section versus like we don't have like the mall to the heavy rain where it's like heavy downpour rain farmland versus the mall that's like lots of like levels and stuff like that, to the airport that was also in the hospital. Like there was all very unique locations,
right?
And I feel like this doesn't have as much of that.
Well, I think the written cards add to the effect because sometimes it's really foggy and you can't see barely in front of you, and then sometimes it's really dark, so you have to have a flashlight. I think there's a few others I can't remember, but for me that like intensified a lot of stuff, and it's like a random card, right? So you never know what you're gonna get. Like some special riddens, or sometimes they have armor on their or like around them, so you have to shoot their weak spots, or you're not gonna kill them as fast. Yeah, and it's like, god dang, it gets intense.
That is a cool feature. So that's something we didn't describe earlier. Is that because I went off to like the character cards, but one other thing that they have in here is at the beginning of each level, there's a set of like the written cards that pop up, and they're randomized events or challenge things that are happening in that level that could change each time. So one time it could be a card that says there's increased fog here now, or there's rain happening, or there's a new type of zombie that's going to appear that you haven't faced before, and those are randomized cards that will just show up with each playthrough of that level. Okay. So every level is going to be different based on the randomization of those cards that come into play. And the further you get in the game, the more randomized cards you're going to get for each level, make it more challenging. And that is a cool feature to go back and play through again.
So it's completely random. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
basically. Okay.
And for me, like I want that replayability. Like Left 4 Dead was so fun and unique with the different levels and stuff, and you know, you had the AI sending out the zombies, so that was never the same. So, you know, great, that's fun. And then this game with their cards being random, like, makes me want to replay it. Makes me want to replay it on higher difficulty.
Yeah.
And that was like the key thing. So,
Yeah. I mean, it is true because, like, I mean, that is one thing that was a negative of Left 4 Dead is that levels were eventually predictable. In that, like, No Mercy, I ran through No Mercy hospital levels so many times. I knew exactly what was going to happen at every moment, even though, like, the tank could come up at different times.
yeah.
Everything else was like, okay, around this corner, there's going to be, like, a horde of zombies that come after me. I know what to expect.
Yeah.
And in this, that's not going to happen as much because it is so random.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it's worth it, especially if you have the Game Pass.
Yeah, I think even at the price point, because it's not a full price game, I think it's like, it's $40. Or is it
$40?
$50?
No, it was supposed to be like $50-$60.
I know it's not 60, but I think it might be. Let me look here.
What do you think? Would you get this?
Yeah. I'm watching your guys' stream from it. I think I would most definitely pick this up.
Because it's crossplay, so
Is it crossplay?
I thought it was.
If it's crossplay, then
At
yeah,
least
I would
for
most definitely
Xbox.
pick it up. It looks fun. This isn't because someone asked me just recently from work, asked me about this game because I see it on the PlayStation Network advertising for it, and he asked me if this was a sequel to a different game, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not, but I'm not 100%. Is it a continuation of a?
No, it's all. I mean,
It's not allowed to be,
It's from the
but-
creators of
Creators of Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it is a full price game. You're right. It is 60. I was
Yeah.
wrong.
So yeah, when we played the beta, we're like, this is not a $60 game. But after I've played it, I think if you can get some friends together, like I definitely think it's worth.
oh yeah, it's
picking
most
up.
definitely worth picking up as long as you have friends and able
Yeah.
to play. And if
So-
it is cross-platform, then I would most definitely play with you guys.
I do think I kind of would argue. I don't think it's worth $60. I think it should be a little bit less.
What?
But-
30, 40,
I think
15,
40 or
20?
50.
Yeah.
would be-
$5?
If it was like $10 less, I think it'd be good.
$10.
Huh? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the other
definitely.
Thing, the other thing I want to mention too is like there's a PvP section of this game.
Oh, wow.
That we haven't really touched much. That's not really great.
Is
And
it?
that's
Do you
the
play as a
problem.
zombie in that one?
You can
Like-
play as both. So
Both?
it's like it's broken up into rounds where it's like you basically you start out, you either play as the survivors, you play as a ridden, and you can pick one special zombie, and then or you can pick like one of your hero characters, and you're in an arena. The zombies can set up in the little arena space, and the basically the survivors have to hold out for a certain amount of time and to win, and then the survivors have to, or the zombies have to kill them, and then after that round's over, then it switches and it goes back and forth tug of war style, and it's like best 2 out of 3.
Okay.
The problem with it is the zombies always win. Like you just can't win as a human. It's so unbalanced right now. If you get a really solid zombie team in there, you're fucked. It's not going to happen. Like me and Josh played it like 10 rounds in a row, and like there was one time we won because like we had a really good survivor team, but otherwise it just wasn't happening. So I mean, I liked it, but I feel like because it's like there's like I think it's 8 people, 8 versus 8 now or something like that. I don't know. It's higher than it was before, and I think it's a little broken right now. It needs some work. It's not as fun and enjoyable as it was back in Left 4 Dead 1, but the campaign's still super fun. That's worth jumping into.
Yeah, for sure.
I might have to pick this one up then.
Well, we'll make sure we can play it with you first.
Yeah, because I'm not playing by myself.
So Back 4 Blood is a game that is crossplay that allows you to play with your friends, whether they're playing on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, or PC.
Well, there we go.
Yep. So there you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Full crossplay. And it's on
See you
Game Pass.
online.
So you want to see me online then?
Good, because me and Travis got to Act 3. Right?
Oh, you guys played more?
Oh, we're still in Act 2. Yeah, we finished Act 2, didn't we?
I don't know. What was it with me?
Yeah.
Where'd you play? Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, we're still
Yeah,
in
I think
Act 2.
we're in Act 3, and first mission, we can't beat it. It is fucking hard.
Jesus.
Good.
Yeah, and we were playing with other people, and we were like, they suck. Like we fight. What? Oh yeah, it's isn't this
Oh, yeah,
Joe's?
this is where you get Bob's arm.
Bob's arm.
You have to
Yeah.
use Bob's arm to get in the safe room. And you can also use it to beat people in the head.
Nice.
It's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Anyway, but yes, it is very fucking hard, and we need help. So,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't mind going back and playing the campaign with you because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, most definitely. I'll have to get it. I'll have to
I'd go
pick it
back
up.
and play again for sure.
I am down
Cool.
to clown.